Today I'll be talking about my English teacher from high school, Mr. Hoffman. He was my English teacher for sophomore year, senior year, and also I had the privilege of having a study hall period every single day with him senior year. He's a person I adore, respect, admire, and trust with all my heart, and it was an absolute privilege to be able to talk to him in the ways that I did. You never get that close to teachers, and for the longest time I looked up to him, and I never thought it was possible until senior year. Me and Mr. Hoffman grew close over our love for literature, especially James Joyce. He's kind of like a stream of consciousness, focus on syntax between modernism and postmodernism, extremely complex, and there's not many people in life that you can dive that deep into literature with. He's quirky and silly, and we bonded over our feeling of isolation and outsiderness in high school. Both of him were didn't really connect with the other people, especially students in school. We were misfit toys, trying to understand the complexities, nuances, and nonsense of life and literature. He was often misunderstood and disrespected by students, and I made an effort to connect with him through that, especially in class. Recently I asked him his values, and he said freedom. Freedom from freedom, and standing alone on the impossible precipice of self-awareness, which means so much to me. He's always deeply honest and contemplative. He makes me think. He's an introvert, he's quirky and crazy, insightful, intellectual, and his passion and fascination for big ideas and depths of minds extends anyone that I've ever met. He considers himself a chrysalis, constantly reinventing himself, growing more whole each and every day, and his main goal is to express himself fully in every aspect of it. So he'll get up in front of class and mutter German expressions like herke-schnarke and ranted about his childhood, which in strange ways poked at his inner conflicts that grew as he got older. And it was just a way of how he expressed himself fully, and I loved how brave he was, especially in our tough crowds of students. I would distract him every day in study hall, and we'd share our passions, our stories. We'd talk about literature, music, and the cosmos, and make fools of ourselves in front of other students. And in the quote of James Joyce, "Your battles, Mr. Hoffman, your battles inspired me. Not the obvious material battles, but those that were fought behind your forehead." This was all in a great time of need for me. My dad was dying of cancer. He offered guidance and inspiration and hope for me. He brought out the best of my mind. He taught me to dig deep, analyze, reflect, and question everything, and see the world in its fullest light, and to see beauty in utter chaos. He motivated me to never lose my edge or vision, and to never, ever close my mind. He kept me determined, strong, expressive, loving, and whole. And another James Joyce quote that I'll wrap up with that he inspired me with is, "Think you're escaping and run into yourself. Longest way round is the shortest way home." Mr. Hoffman is a person that I look up to more than almost anyone, except for my mom and my dad. And he opened my horizons on life and worked on my mind and heart. Praise is not strong enough to thank him for what he's done for me.